Thank you and welcome everybody. I'm going to introduce Istanbul within 5 to 10 slides, and the presentation is called The Challenges and Prospects of a New Urbanism in Istanbul. In that context, I'll touch upon quickly the challenge of 20th century industrial urbanism, new greenfield development that is taking place in Istanbul. In that context, upgrading of the 20th century suburbs and neighborhood regeneration of the shantytown areas, together with regeneration of the historic peninsula, which is the World Heritage Site. And then I'll hand over to Mr. Bozkurt to explain or share with you the Yeni Kapı Transfer Area competition project, which he won jointly with the two other consortium. So talking about the challenge of 20th century industrial development, industrial urbanism, what that means. Explosive urbanization since the 1960s, driven by urban industrial development, encouraging rural population moving towards the west, mainly Istanbul being the attractive center. Population in that context increased from 2 million in 1960s to 10 million by the turn of the century, and it's going to be 23 million. That is the projected population numbers if unchecked. Currently it is around 15 million. Rapidly increasing population is accommodated through a number of ways. The first wave of rural migration was contained through shanty towns, self-built, built overnight, Gecekondu is the Turkish name, towns which were informally redeveloped through share of construction processes, producing mainly 4, 5, 6-story apartment blocks, which were retrospectively legalized. We can't say they're not legal, but we can't say they are up to standards either. So whilst this process produced substandard housing, it also created low income occupation on a large scale, which is in sharp contrast to the processes in Western Europe. Millions of apartments were built on also earthquake risk land, which was demonstrated by the 1999 Marmara earthquake, which resulted in 18,000 people being dead, and the economics of it was at the rate of millions. And we are expecting the next earthquake within the next 20 years. There is a 60% probability, and that is to kill 150,000 people minimum. So what is the emergent response to this given context and in legacy? Since the turn of the century, the city process has been modernized, moving from the traditional master planning approach towards spatial planning, which was demonstrated by the 2009 strategic master plan of Istanbul. This was also in parallel with the institutional capacity being developed, represented by the mass housing organization at a central government level and at a local level. These initiatives also supported by the two major changes. One of them was the introduction of the mortgage system, and for the first time in the country. The other was the fact that Treasury was releasing inherited government land to both TOKİ mass housing organisation at a central government level and also to Kiptaş operating at a local level. Also, the neighbourhood regeneration process was privately financed. The partnership between the central government and the local organisations and the private sector meant that certain schemes, mass housing schemes, developed quite quickly. in the context of recently introduced legislation. The house building capacity initially halted the Gecekondu, the first generation Gecekondu process, which was the citizens' own initiative, taking their own initiative to plug the social housing gap. Since the early 2000s, we can say that the process has been completely halted, and also the public sector, in partnership with the private sector, is able to provide social and infrastructure, social and technical infrastructure. We can say that this can be termed as the neo-emergent neo-urbanism in the country, particularly in Istanbul. In terms of new greenfield development, it is possible to say that this varies from the high-income group gated communities to large-scale social housing estates with limited services provided by the public sector, time to time in partnership with the private sector. The AOU team was able to see the metro city in Istanbul. This is a good case to demonstrate that public sector is now in a position to provide the infrastructure. Basically, the Marmaray, as you probably heard recently, a couple of days ago, it's in operation now, providing the public facilities to these recently established housing schemes. In terms of upgrading to 20th century suburbs, they are being upgraded as economic development brings an increase and also spending power of the locals, coupled with the tax revenues. We are in a position to publicly finance the infrastructure investments. These changes are also manifested in district municipalities, as was the case, for example, in Arnavutköy district municipality, where the AOE team was presented local initiative, local projects. In terms of neighbourhood regeneration of the former Gecekondu areas, completely illegal development on treasury land, we can say that in the context of urban regeneration legislation, which has been improved since the 2005 and much controversial implementations took place since then, the target is about 1 million dwellings to be knocked down and rebuilt, which is the equivalent of the total output of the UK's post-war slum clearance programme, just to give the scale of the sense of the scale of the initiative. Given the scale of the task at hand, we can say that there are both opportunities and threats at the same time. There is huge pressure to rely on top-down processes. That is, the central government going through huge restructuring processes. There is a recently established minister dealing with regeneration, for example, which is being reacted and obviously is too rigid, but at the same time, the positive side is that there is a bottom-up approach demonstrated by local NGOs and local leaders, local community planners and architects, as well as the academics wanting to develop the sense of ownership and taking part in the process. Regeneration of the historic peninsula is one aspect of the general overall regeneration approach in the country, particularly in Istanbul. Historic peninsula is seen here, bounded by the Indonesian city walls, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It contains 4 heritage sites within it. Also, it's a designated conservation area. Within this Sulpli neighborhood, where the 1,000-year-old Roman community used to live is being totally erased as a result of the initiative taken by the district municipality at the time. Regardless of the reactions or conflicts, the conflict is being resolved in favour of the district municipality. The mayor's determination resulted in the total neighbourhood being erased and new development took place. This is just one example on the way, but generally the negative consequences of these early initiatives and implementations prompted obviously gentrification, gentrification of the area was the result, both considering the threats and the opportunities overall. The strategic transport investment in terms of the major impact it has as part of the Marmaray metro system is to be considered as the next stage. And in terms of Yenikapı transfer area, Mr. Bozkurt is going to share with you the winning scheme and the details of it. Thank you.
Hello, I will present you the project, what we had in international competition, one of the winner project with my Dutch partner, Mekona Architect, and from Delft. This is our model picture. That's our team. Where you see the old city, this all the black points what you see, they are the old monuments of Istanbul, and you see the yellow squares, which are also the big urban spaces, and the big dots are the old historical developments. That one. And this is the Yenikapı area, which is what we are planning to do. That complex is one of the old Istanbul squares. And in our project, you see all the coasts are green zones, and that is the famous mese and the main big monuments of Istanbul. And this is the old metro system, and in our project, the ferry system, we took it out for there, only the passenger boat comes here. All these dot lines are all the metro systems, and this is the new open Marmaray project. And this is the old harbor, Lycos river, and Theodosius harbor. From the history, that is the Lycos river. And with the time, this filled, and now this is the year 1946, which have been all the area is filled. In 82, all complete the shore is filled, and this is the all the city urban textile as this all today, and these are the these are the two buildings what we offer as a building in this complex. And this is the land use. The red part is the trade on the moment, and the yellow part are the residential. But I have to say that on the beginning to you, I'm born in Istanbul, 1945. The population was 850,000 population, and all the city, and today it's 15 million. And the old city was, in that period, 500,000, and still today it's 500,000. And the big changement is, instead of residential and the commercial, now plus the tourism. With the tourism, everything has changed also. And so you see the urban activities. And here, this is the road system. That one is the new wheel car driving. We took it all merged, and And then these are the highway systems which are built after the 1950s, because Istanbul city had after the last century, Istanbul city had important changes. The beginning of the century being big fires. And then afterward, after the 1955, the coastal road filling and the big boulevards opened like that. And then all the coasts are filled. And of course, because of the tourism city, all completely changed. So what we did also, we took all the heavy traffic underground, and we created again the slow traffic between the east and the west direction of the city. And this is the complete road system in our project, because it's a big urban design. It covers from Oxford Square and all this coast, all this area. And in that picture, you see the green one is the big train system, which is the Orient Express road. We made it like that, slowed instead of that one. We made the slow tram, not to connect the coast to the zone. And this is our model. This is the transfer center. This is now today's Marmaray station, original one. This is our archaeological, the building for the archaeological founds, and this is our green zones, which are local archaeo park, and the coast, and all the green zone. We connected complete city to the coast, and that's the square, and this is the international zone, the archaeological zone, and the metropolitan green surface. And this is our design. And for the city, for the neighborhood, for the international, national, metropolitan, and the old village. And this is from our model, how we integrate to the city. And this is the old historical square, which, and now we, instead of destroying all this, today it's the situation. So there's no building surrounds the square. So what we did, here you see the square and the monuments everywhere, and we said, let's make the green zones, the green squares, which goes to the harbor, to that direction. And this is the existing situation, and this is our proposal, and this is the old historical situation, and to make the old recreation area. And this is the excavation, how they started, and afterward the planning came. And this is how it was the excavation after the piling. This is that old church. And this is the pilings for the old harbor. And this is the wrecks. And this is the footprints from 8,500 years old. Wow. If there wouldn't be this metro system excavation, the city history was only 3,500 years. Now it's 8,500 years. Thanks to that. And this is the old walls there, old monuments. And you see these are all the fragments which are existing, picked up, and then how they fix it. And we started from that texture also to our design, what you see in all the surfaces, and how we continued, and now these are the proposal. And because in this project we said, because it's the transfer center for per day 1.7 million people, but how to integrate for the city, traffic down and slow traffic up, and all the rail system underground, and then people to the sea, to the coast, because this coast is valuable. And then we started this project like that, gateway and the archive building. Anyway, the Yeni Kapı means new gate. So this is the gate and the transfer center, and this is the archive building. And This is transfer center, which is already, what you see, it's the excavated hole. And then the archive building. And these are the sections of this two project. And this is our proposal. A huge construction, of course. I'm passing just quickly. And this is the existing situation up to date, it was a little before. And this is the excavation, how they started the archaeologs like that. That's why we said, let's use this pattern and that in our design. This is the archive building. That's it. We integrate to the city. Thank you.